COVID 19 is a pandemic that has been affecting the world around us, and today I'll be talking about how to help stop it. COVID 19 is an infectious disease that affects the respiratory system. The side effects include coughing, fever, loss of taste and smell, and shortness of breath. These side effects can be very mild in some cases, but also can end up with people in the ICU on ventilation units or at home with oxygen tanks just trying to survive. COVID 19 spreads through saliva and droplets from the nose and mouth whenever people cough or sneeze, and it travels through the air, and the infectious particles can infect the people that are touched by them or that inhale them through the mouth. And they can also be transferred through surfaces that are frequently touched. COVID 19 is important and can't be ignored by people because it's still rising cases. In America, it mostly started in March, and since then it has grown, and there has been 20 million cases in the US and over 346,000 deaths. And if you look at the graph, you can see COVID 19 has not come to a halt or stopped growing. It is still constantly growing at an exponential rate every day. It is important that we all do our part to help bring COVID 19 pandemic to an end. We can do this by staying home, wearing our mask or protective gear whenever we do have to leave, sanitizing our hands and surfaces we touch often, and by monitoring your own health. It is important that people stay at home because it limits contact to the outside world. If you're going to the grocery store or just to the mall for fun, you're just putting the people around you at risk and yourself from getting COVID 19. If you need something from outside, like groceries, you can use online resources that are readily available to us today, like grocery pickup, or if you need food, you can use Waiter or Grubhub to order food and get it delivered right to you. It is irresponsible to go out in public just for fun nowadays. It puts you and other people around you at risk of getting a contagious disease that can lead to death in some cases. If you do have to go out, it is important to wear a mask, a proper mask. The CDC recommends a medical grade mask, and this mask only works if worn properly. It has to cover the nose and the mouth completely. Normally it wraps around the chin too, so no water droplets can escape from the side. Some people wear masks with the ventilators, with the vents in it, so it's easier for them to breathe, or they just wear a single layer cloth mask, or some people even just wear mesh masks to say they're wearing a mask, but these masks are not helping and they're not useful. They're not protecting you or others from getting coronavirus. Sanitizing and disinfecting the things around you is very important. You touch things every day like door handles or pin pads at the grocery store or shopping carts, and all these things are touched by multiple people every day, all the time, and you don't know where they've been, and so it's important to disinfect things maybe before you touch them. If you don't have that available, just wash your hands with antibacterial soap as soon as you can, and make sure in between that time you don't touch your face or your mouth, because that is a way you can spread the coronavirus to yourself and become infected easily. It is also important to monitor your health yourself. You can't always be sure because a lot of COVID patients are asymptomatic at first for a while, but it's important to check your temperature often and make sure it's in the healthy range, and also be knowledgeable about the COVID symptoms such as shortness of breath, fever, and coughing, and monitor yourself, because if you're going out in public, even if you feel okay, it could lead to someone coming down with COVID and not surviving, because it is a deadly disease at the end of the day, even though some people don't believe it and they compare it to the flu. In all, COVID 19 is an infectious disease that has affected the world around us. It's very contagious and it can be lethal in some cases. People ignoring it and going about their everyday lives is irresponsible, and you should do your own part and help stop the spread of COVID. And by staying home or wearing your mask properly and disinfecting yourself and the things around you and checking for your symptoms is the first step in helping stop the spread of this pandemic. My resources include the CDC, Johns Hopkins Medicine, and others. Thank you.